Cool. We should be live. I just had a note saying processing, but no, I think we're live. Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm just going to head over to my Facebook wall because I'm actually doing this call today just for you, for our authentic badass tribe, because it's been a little while because there's been lots of things happening, which I'll fill you in, and then I've thought I'm going to turn this into a really cool opportunity to actually turn this into a training on how to deal with resistance and get your mojo back. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds. If you're obviously on the call live, I would appreciate if you said hello, pop in your name, let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm trying to catch the time. I know I've got lots of clients in Australia, but also getting, massively a following and feedback and clients and interest from the US. So it's kind of a little bit hard, especially because I'm right smack bang in the middle. But it's kind of cool. As I said, it's a quality problem. So it works for me, even if it means being up a little bit later, which is actually tomorrow night. I'm going to do a training, which I'll tell you about as well. So honestly, first of all, I just want to say thank you. I'm super excited to see our group growing. Now I know what's happened. I've got another video for you that I did yesterday that I posted this morning first thing, but clearly it didn't post. And hi, Kiara. Is that how you say Kiara, or is it Kira? I hope it's either or. I'm not pronouncing your name wrongly. Tuning in from Boston. What's the weather like? I believe it may be still cold. It isn't warming up yet. But yes, okay, so the other video is just gone live. So that didn't happen this morning. Clearly, I must have logged out too quick. Yesterday, I was a part of a online summit for coaches, healers, and other entrepreneurs. And it was great in terms of, Kira, got it, awesome, hey Kira. And it was an awesome online event, and I was talking about how to feel the fear and do it anyway, basically how to step outside your comfort zone. And that was a really powerful call, even though I had a bit of a crazy day yesterday with technology not being my best friend, but the call was rocking. So I thought I'm going to share that with you, just to give you some cool little golden nuggets. And as of today, obviously, I'm, wanting to take the opportunity just to say, welcome to all the new badasses that have joined our group. It's super exciting to see that we're growing. My goal was to really achieve that 1,500. We're currently sitting at 1,406. So honestly, I would love it if you know one or two women in your environment, in your group, in your network, who is a fellow badass, or who would like to be more of an authentic badass and is looking for inspiration, education, teachings, but also fun and entertainment, because obviously we like to keep things fun, then make sure that you add them to the group. You just head into the group, top right hand corner, and add their name. Then I can tag them in the video section so they get a feel for what the group is all about. So honestly, thank you for everyone that's joined us. I'm really looking forward to get to know more of you and see where you're at on your journey of becoming an authentic badass, where else you would like to rock more, and where else you want better results. And as you know, I'm all about how to, dominate, how to just fucking own it, your business, your body, and being an authentic badass. And that's all about your relationship, starting with the one that you have with yourself. So that is really super exciting, obviously, to see you grow. But from my end, I thought I'm just going to fill you in, because obviously, if you haven't seen, I've had literally the craziest week, and I'm not going to bore you with my private life, but it's also really fucking exciting. So I would just want to share that with you. And I kind of feel that I like to be an open book. If you go on Facebook, you see everything I do. Anyway, and I kind of feel like I like being transparent. Hey, Tara, I like being transparent because I believe it's part of being real and being authentic. So being transparent and letting you know where I am, what's going on, not just in business, but also my private life, just gives you a feeling that, you know what, I am who I am. And I'm really blessed to see that, people, like everyone that I meet, honestly, says exactly the same. Everyone's like, wow, you're exactly what I thought you'd be. Like, you're exactly on, how the videos and the posts voice and the image, it's a branding, like everything is so like you. And it just goes to show that that your business is really is an extension of who you are, right? Like how you show up in business is not necessarily a different persona. To me, like the way I show up in business, that's who I am. Like how I'm showing up today, that's who I am. When I show up, hang out with my friends or my fiance, which I'll tell you in a minute, I'm exactly the same when I do a speech, when I run events, I'm the same. Like obviously I'm not always crazy. Actually, I am kind of always crazy, but I also have quiet times. Like I have times where I retreat and recharge. And for some of you, that might feel a little bit daunting if you're more of an introvert, because I'm naturally like an extrovert. But if you're an introvert, then just know that you can still be quietly confident. And depending on, in your business, still see your business as an extension of you. And it's really about learning how to amplify that extrovert in you, because it is within you, right? So you can learn how to switch it on and just amplify that part of you and know when to switch it off. Same as being a badass, an authentic badass. It's all about amplifying your masculine and your feminine energy when you need to, right? Like when I obviously do business and I hustle and I create content and I do my Facebook streams, I'm more of a, hey, let's go. How you doing? Like more of a masculine kind of go energy. But obviously when my man comes home, I'm switching off and I'm more of a queen, and I just, open myself to receive and, be looked after. And like, I'm not going to chop his balls off because I used to do that. And as a woman, we may have the tendency to do so, which only causes relationship problems down the track. But that's, again, something else we can talk about another time if that sort of energy stuff really interests you. Hey, Luce, is it Luce or Lucy? Nice to have you on the call. But as I said, the last time I was tuning in, I was sitting at the airport in Vegas. I was horrendously tired because I just attended a 3-day mastermind event with one of my mentors, Kat Laterzo. If you don't know her, she's a fucking bomb diggity as well. And it was a really amazing event. And I think the biggest thing that I've taken from the event was that, I didn't learn anything so much as in strategy-wise, how to grow my business and what programs to launch or what marketing strategy to use or what content to put out there. It was more about mindset. And that totally aligns with my message anyway. Like if you know anything about my message, I always say success is not about how much you do. It is all about who you are. And that means giving yourself permission to step into becoming an authentic badass who truly just fucking owns it, your business, your body, and being a badass, and therefore have it all on your own terms if you give yourself permission to be it all. So that's my message. And it was awesome that, the whole training was exactly around that. And it really got me thinking about my mindset, about expanding my reality, that my life is already really fucking awesome. And it's about, right, how can I expand? How can I up level? Who do I need to become to, take my life to the next level, my business, my relationships, and so forth. And sometimes change can happen in an instant, and we know that. Actually, most of the time, change happens in an instant if you're truly and completely ready and open for it, and you give yourself permission to receive. And if you didn't know, I stepped off the plane after being 2 days in transit, being super tired when I left because it was a lot of, mindset, emotional work, that sort of stuff. And then stepping off the plane, my boyfriend picking me up from the airport. And we walked down to the garage, like the parking lot, whatever you want to call it. And he actually bought me my dream car, which is a white Audi TT convertible. Hey, beautiful. And I was absolutely gobsmacked, and he was like, that's your birthday present. I was like, fuck off. Like, actually I didn't swear at him, but I looked at him and I was like, I can't believe that you did that. And he's like, why not? Like, you need a car anyway. And I didn't want to buy you something temporary because our relationship isn't temporary. And I was like, wow. And when I asked him, I said, why would you do that? Like, he bought this car outright, like insured it. He even got like personalized, registration plates, did some bows, did a little bit of DIY, bless him. And when I asked him why you did that, and he's like, because you're worth it, because you deserve it. And I was like, boom. That's exactly it, isn't it? It's exactly that, when we get to that level where we open ourselves up, give ourselves permission to receive and say, yes, we're worth it. We really, truly are open energetically to instant change. I'm not going to say that, boom, your boyfriend's going to buy you a car tomorrow, but anything can happen. Well, anything can happen that you want to happen. That's when you get really creative and really clear on your reality, right? So that happened. And then as I sat in the car, he said, oh, do you want to turn the key? And obviously I was so frazzled. I actually took the key out of the ignition and I literally turned the key. And he's like, no, dear. He's like, turn the key in the car. And I was like, oh, okay. So I turned the key. And as I looked, he already was like down on one knee. And I was like, that's kind of odd. And I turned the key and then I looked to the radio and the song from Bruno Mars was playing, saying, I think I want to marry you. And I looked at him and I was like, oh, what a funny coincidence. And he's like, actually not so much of a coincidence. And I was like, oh, wow. So then he proposed to me as well, which this has happened all super, super fast. I've only known Mark for close to 6 months, and with that, like, we've been apart for like 2-3 months because I've been location free, hustling, and I wasn't even so sure that I really wanted it, because I had this massive resistance about being in Germany and being with a German man, even though I know I'm German, but I'm so not German, so I never really saw that coming. So I had some personal resistance about that, but when I allowed myself again to deal with my own shit and open myself up to someone who's absolutely an extraordinary guy, and we just honestly match, like, we just get on, like, we're so different, like, we're literally, like, on paper we're like chalk and cheese, but when we get together or when we are together, we're like so like one and the same person, to the point that the more obviously we're still getting to know each other, the more we're like, no way, you too, you like that too, or you did that too, or you had that too. And like, he gets a little bit like scared. He's like, I'm really glad that you like cheese, because that's one thing I don't like, and I'm getting a little bit scared that we are really so alike. So I'm really glad that there's something that you don't like, that you like that I don't like. Hi, Cheryl. So that was crazy. So yeah, so I got engaged, which is super exciting, and that means obviously I had a whole week of celebrations and tons of messages congratulating me from all corners of the world. And the point I'm making with that beautiful story, that whilst it's a beautiful fairy tale, it's completely taken my mind off from working and being in my daily flow and hustle when it comes to my business, my health, in terms of not going to the gym every day, not working out as much as I normally do, and not working my business as much as I do, which is like the last thing that I wanted coming from Vegas, because I was all about this new reality. And even though that's happening, I didn't really have the normal flow. So, it got me thinking, and I was like, you know what? It just goes to show that sometimes life can get a little bit crazy, and we have moments where we don't feel as motivated as in other moments, right? Like, we have things happening, or we feel that perhaps, God knows, like, it could be a life change, obviously, like mine, or it could just be like a particular time that you just don't feel as motivated to do the normal things that you would normally do. And really, it's annoying, right? Because that if you're not heading to the gym, you're not actually creating your shit hot body. If you're not taking daily action and sharing your message and doing the hustle, you're not growing your business. If you're not doing your daily inner work, you're not expanding, and you're therefore not creating your new reality, right? So it's really important that we obviously do show up in our business every day, and not showing up means we're not making progress. And who the fuck wants to stay the same? We constantly want to grow. And it doesn't mean that we constantly want to change our whole reality, but there's certainly aspects that we're definitely wanting to grow, because there's opportunity, whether it's making more business, making a bigger impact, adding different, income streams to your business, working with a different group of women, launching new programs, improving your health and well-being. There's always stuff you can do, whether it's setting new personal best, whether it's trying new, workouts or a new sport, whether it's improving your relationships, with your partner, with your family, whether it's about becoming a better mother. Like, honestly, this shit never stops. We're constantly growing. So I want to talk to you about how you can actually deal with that resistance. I want to give you 5 steps. I've written them down. which is something I don't really do, but I kind of feel like I want to give you some structure and something that has totally helped me not to lose my shit, to still show up, not as much as I'd normally do, but also feel that I got the flow back. And it's funny how things still happening in the background, which is crazy. Well, it's crazy because that's just how it works, because I'm putting it out to the universe and amazing things are happening. So if you're currently finding that you're struggling with not having the right attitude or enough motivation to actually take you to the next level, whether it's your business, whether it's in your body and your health and well-being, or whether it's in your relationship, I want you to do those 5 things, right? Number 1, I want you to gain what I call, gain emotional intelligence. That means write down actually what's going on. So obviously you are not taking action means there is some level of resistance. It could be that underneath it, there could be a potential fear, right? So you need to actually just get emotional intelligence and journal the shit out of it and just put pen to paper. And that's honestly something, if I did one thing consistently every day over the last, week, 8 days since I've been back from Vegas, I've been journaling every day. And I've still been kind of going, okay, I really should be doing it, but I'm getting sidetracked. And why is that happening? And why am I not in flow? Okay, cool. And I'm kind of taking stock of what it is. And then it's almost like taking the emotion out of it, but you still need to figure out what it is, what's going on underneath it. It's almost like, you got to look at the monster under the bed. You can't just say, I know there's something not feeling right, but I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to push. I'm just going to force. I'm just going to try. That's not going to get you anywhere. So you actually need to get to the bottom of it, why that is. And I did that. I did some resistance, obviously had some resistance. I kind of felt like, cool, like my life is changing. And I was running some, stories about, well, like, it's just give yourself a little bit of time to adopt. Like in the last 5 weeks, you've moved to Germany, you moved in with your boyfriend, you now have a fiance, your business is going crazy, you're traveling, your friends and your family are there who you've never had for 15 years. Hi, Renee. So that's a lot to deal with. So I could run that story of just give yourself a little bit of time. And by all means, of course, I'm being kind to myself. I'm definitely not giving myself some negative chit chatter about not doing my daily do. But I do know that if I don't get on top of it, it could actually manifest into something negative, into something stuck, into a block. And it could mean that I could completely fall out of a rut. And, the cost of it would be so much more than what I'm getting out of staying in my comfort zone, if that makes sense. So number 1, you want to get some emotional intelligence and honestly do some journaling. Look at the monster under the bed. Figure out why you're actually resisting, why your mojo is gone. What is it that you're fearing? Why you're not finding the motivation? What do you feel is simply too hard? What are your excuses? Do you don't feel like you have enough time, not enough money, not enough knowledge? Whatever it is, I need you to get really clear. Then obviously journal around it and get to the bottom of that. And then number 2, I want you to get back to what actually is your long-term vision. What is the outcome, right? It's almost like removing you from the situation that you're in and getting a different perspective, a bit better clarity of saying, okay, well, I know right now I'm actually not making a lot of sense. I'm not actually moving forward, but what is it that my outcome is? What's my long-term focus? Now, obviously for that, you need to know what's the vision, what's the mission, what's the purpose, what's the plan, right? What are the long-term results? What is the long-term outcome that you want to achieve? And you can even do some journaling around that, figuring out, okay, cool, this is actually what it is about for me. And therefore, you're finding that you're getting that inspiration back, you're getting that mojo back alone because you're connecting your head back to your heart, you're getting back to yourself, coming back to a place of alignment rather than being in your head all the time and thinking of all the reasons why you're not taking action and how shit it is and comparing yourself to all the other people, what they're all doing or what they're all having. So it's really important to, number 2, make sure, hey Stacey, really important that number 2, you get back to what is your outcome, your long-term vision. And you may even find that perhaps what's happening in your life right now is actually happening because it's time to review where you want to be heading. I just got off the phone to a coaching client, and she was exactly in a similar position where she's like, I'm obsessing about my thoughts and I'm obsessing about my shit so much it's actually driving me crazy, and I'm also not taking any action moving forward. And I was like, why is that happening? Because everything's happening for a reason. And she also just had a bit of a life change, and I said, perhaps it's actually a perfect opportunity to rewrite your vision, to rewrite your goals, to review where you want to be heading, because things are different now. And she's like, oh my God, totally. And because she doesn't have that clarity anymore of where she wants to be heading, that's why she's getting all fogged up, if that's even a word, but that's why she's getting all obsessed, and it's getting muddled up in her head, and it's actually leading her to stop taking action, right? So then number 3, by the way, if you're getting that and if that's making sense, then give me a thumbs up. If you've got any questions in the meantime, make sure that you ask me questions. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going for about another 5 minutes. And then number 3, it's literally action, set, go. I need you to think about, right, now that you uncovered the fear, the resistance, what it's truly about, come up with 3 action steps that will actually smash fear in the eye. And I want you to make them simple enough that you can actually do them. So if you're, for example, been stuck about getting your ass to the gym, working out and losing weight, and you're hitting a plateau, what are 3 things that you can do, perhaps even every day? Could it be to set your your alarm a little bit earlier, to make sure you get up an extra half an hour? Oh, sorry, bummer. I don't have that on my end, but it's a bummer. But it is being recorded, Stacey. So if you're having troubles with that, you can hopefully watch it a little bit later again. So could it be, number 1, that you're just setting your alarm a little bit earlier? Could it be that you want to get rid of all the junk in your house, and you want to make sure that just all you want to do is add 1 good thing into your diet every day? Hey, Tals. And could it be that every day you start off with some positive affirmations to get you set in the mood, or looking at your vision board, or looking at the body that you're trying to create? That could be in terms of your health and fitness, right? So think about 3 actions that will basically help you smash the fear and propel you to take action moving you forward. And again, make them simple enough so that you can do them every day. Then step number 4, like this, a bit awkward, 4, we can do that way, it's probably easier. Step number 4, I want you to then create a little bit of leverage, right? So you want to get a little bit of oomph under your ass to make sure that obviously you truly are ready to beat the resistance, to beat the fear, and actually keep moving forward. And that is, I want you to think of what it is that you're doing right now. Like, how have you currently been holding yourself back? Why is your mojo gone? How has it been stopping you? And then I want you to ask yourself 2 questions. Number 1, what are you getting out of it? What's the payoff? Because everything you do, you actually do for a positive intention, because you're getting something good out of it. Even though it doesn't feel good, you're doing it because your body and your mind. Hey, Carrie, so cool to have you on the call today. Because your body and your mind is not designed to harm yourself. So even though this lack of action, the lack of motivation, and you resisting right now, not taking action, is actually happening for a positive gain. So we call it a secondary gain. So I want you to ask yourself, what's the payoff? What are you getting out of it? And then I want you to flip it, and I want you to ask yourself, excuse me, what is it costing you? Right? Like, not taking action. What is it costing you right now? And you will find that, holy shit, it's costing you something already. And then think forward, like another week from now, another month from now, another 6 months from now, another year from now. If you're staying the same, if you're letting literally resistance get the better of you, if you let fear, paralyze you instead of motivate you, then what else are you missing out on? What else is it costing you? And I want you to get really deep and really emotional, and you will find that particular thing that you're doing right now or not doing is having an impact not only on your business, but also your money, also your relationships, to yourself, to your body, the way you look after yourself, the way that you grow. My water is positioned behind you, so I'm just going to be cheeky. And look at my mouth. But yes, I want you to get really deep on that and really journal about or around the cost, because honestly, the shit is costing you stuff. And when you get really emotional about it, you will find you're creating leverage. You're like, no fucking way, because I know now what my outcome is. I revisited, I reaffirmed it. I know my long-term vision. This is what I want to create in terms of freedom, lifestyle, abundance, when it comes to money, when it comes to impact, when it comes to love and relationship and family and travel and fun and adventure and what have you not, right? And now you said, I know that I've been holding myself back because of some sort of resistance, and there's a fear, and I know I've got to look that monster in the eye and deal with it. So I'm going to come up with actions, because actions will always beat fear. And then you're creating leverage to make sure that no way you're going to fall back again, because now again you've got a connection. Hey Rebecca, you've got a connection from your head into your heart, and there is some leverage, and that is really important, because that is the ignition, right? The fuel to get your mojo back, because all of a sudden you're feeling that you're inspired again. And then number 5 is super simple. You're going to get up and hustle like a badass, right? So these are my 5 steps. Awesome. Love it. Thank you. These are my 5 steps. So if you want to go over them again, I would I would recommend you watch the video. Number 1, you got to make sure that you get some emotional intelligence and figure out what the resistance actually is. What's going on for you? What is the fear underneath it all? What's the monster under your bed? Number 2, oh my God. Number 2, it's still so cold in Germany, right? Number 2, what is the outcome long term? What is the vision? What's the purpose? What's the mission? Perhaps it's an opportunity to rewrite your new reality moving forward. Number 3, 3 simple action steps taking you forward every single day, something simple that you can do. Number 4, create some leverage, get some emotional connection, making sure that you come from a place of alignment, moving your head into your heart. Number 5, hustle like a badass. In other words, do what you got to do and do it daily, right? So that's about dealing with resistance and finding your mojo back. On that note, I'm going to wrap it up. A couple other things I do want to announce. If you just joined the group, I was obviously welcoming everybody that has joined us over the last month. I would love to see this grow group to the 1,500. We're at 1,406 currently. So get inviting your girlfriends to our group. Honestly, like, I believe that this content in the group is great. I'm loving seeing the interaction, and I'm actually encouraging you to interact even more. We even got theme days now. And what else? I'm also announcing on my birthday, which is in 6 days, on the 10th of May. Next Tuesday, I'm announcing a brand new it's kind of like a mentor membership type program. So it's a 6-month mentorship to work with me personally. This coughing's annoying. To work with me personally to help you just how to fucking own it, your business, your body, and being an authentic badass. So I'm not going to be revealing too much about that. So mark the day. I'm definitely going to be doing a live call on Tuesday. Tell you all about it. Give you the 2 options. There's even a VIP option to work with me one-on-one really closely, which is obviously exciting. I believe so. And then the other thing I want you to mark is I'm running another training tomorrow on the 5th, which is going to be a great time for the US. It's going to be your afternoon. And it's going to be very early in Oz. So if you want to stay tuned for that, I'm going to pop the link in the invite for that. And on that note, I'm going to tune out. And of course, I'm going to dare you to be a badass, fiercely authentic with no fuck given.